Welcome to a new fragrance review. Today we're gonna smell Bijan for Man. So, as you can see, the bottle has a really unique shape, and it's like some kind of ring, or I don't know, with a big white ball on the top. It says Bijan for Man, Bijan Man, I mean, and a little stick in the bottom. If I remove the huge cap, there's a gold spray on it. In the cap, there's nothing really inside. It's normal. If you go with the bottle is pretty basic. It says Bijan all around the bottle. Bijan is a clothes designer that was probably more popular during the 80s. This is a real like 80s fragrance, like an 80s powerhouse. And if that's the kind of fragrance you like, you're on treat with this one. Where I heard about this fragrance, because it's not the kind of fragrance you hear about. It's like out of nowhere. And really where I heard about it, it's with my wife, who were watching Friends, like the old series in the 90s, Friends. And there was Joey. If you watch Friends, you know what I'm talking about. There was one episode where he had to get a job because he didn't make enough money with his acting job. And he was selling a perfume, and he was always asking people, Bijan for Men, Bijan for Men. And I was like, what is that perfume? I need to know. So I looked on the internet, and I found it.
Bijan for Men? Bijan for Men? Bijan for Men?
No thanks.
Bijan for Men? Bijan for Men? Bijan for...
So we're gonna try the smell. So the notes there, the note breakdown is really complex. There's a lot of things that are playing with each other there. But for me, it's more of a spicy oak moss fragrance. At first, what I get, it's mixed with the clove and the sage. Maybe with some nutmeg too. On paper, that's pretty much all I get. On my skin, it's different. I get the clove really, really powerfully, and the oak moss also really powerfully. And I get some leather through the fragrance. It's a nice fragrance. There's a lot of things going on. This is the main notes that I'm getting, and everything is so well blended. I have trouble to smell other stuff than this. At some point in the beginning on my skin, I can smell some lavender. I don't smell it on the paper. Maybe, skin react differently. And something you need to know before I keep going is that usually fragrance on me, they don't last as long as usual, or as most people say it does, and it doesn't project as much neither. And that's so longevity is average, so 3 to 6 hours, and the projection is really good. I mean, if people in the room, I mean, if you're in a gymnasium or something like that, they won't smell you. But if you're in like average sized room, and maybe let's say in a classroom, so you can have an idea. If you're sitting in the middle of the classroom, everyone in the classroom should be able to smell you. It really projects a lot. And even if usually fragrance, they don't project well on me, this one is really, really crazy. It's the second fragrance I have that project the most. Now for the complete note breakdown. Top notes, there's nutmeg, fruity note, lavender, mandarin, musk, oak moss, sage, bergamot, and lemon. Heart note, there's honey, carnation, iris, sandalwood, fir, amber, cinnamon, tarragon, jasmine, ylang ylang, and rose. And the base note, there's rosemary, cloves, leather, tonka bean, patchouli, musk, benzoin, vanilla, vetiver, and cedar. Now that I read the note breakdown, there's one note I forgot to say. In the dry down, the benzoin get more prominent as the top notes and the heart notes are disappearing. The benzoin get really noticeable. So, who I would see with this fragrance, really, it's an 80s fragrance. It's really a powerhouse. It's more powerful than stuff like Koram. I've never smelled um, one man show that I heard is really powerful, but I will have trouble to imagine that one man show is more powerful than Bijan for Men. So that kind of the fragrance is really good as a business fragrance. If you dress it up, it smells good. It smells. It's not dated so much. I mean, the 80s style, so the style itself it's different from what we are used today, but it still smells good. It still smells powerful, manly. Really, it's really masculine. So as a business fragrance, it will be really great. And as a dating, it's not really what people are used to smell nowadays, so it wouldn't be good at all. Maybe if you're older, in your 50s and older, might be a good fragrance for dating, but that's not the style of dating fragrance these days. For summer, it will be horrible. The production is too crazy. I've never tried it in the peak of the heat in summer. It doesn't like choke you out when you wear it in summer, but it's still a project like crazy. And in winter, and the opposite, it will be good because it does project like crazy. So you're going to be good, and people will be able to smell you in winter. And for everyday fragrance, I don't think it will be so good. If you love it, it can be nice, but it's still an 80s fragrance. It's still a powerhouse. It projects like crazy, so people will smell you. Be sure if you wear this fragrance. I mean, now with COVID-19, everyone's wearing masks. So with a mask, it's harder to smell people. But when all this will be over, people will smell you when you wear it. So be aware that if you're in a place, a lot of time everyday fragrances like to go to the office. There's two settings that I think about that for me kind of sums up everything that you can have to do with an everyday fragrance. It's going to a funeral and going to your work. And if you're working as a most work, it will be too powerful. If you're working in an office or something, people will smell you everywhere in the office. And if you want to attract that attention and show that power, if you have an authority position, it's one thing, it's okay. But if you're just like having some little basic work over there, you will attract attention that you don't necessarily want. And in a funeral also is the same thing. It's kind of you enter in a funeral, you burst the door open and you're like, hey, look at me. That's kind of what this fragrance is doing. So I don't think it will be a good everyday fragrance unless you're having some power position, some leadership position in what you're doing. Then it could be a nice everyday fragrance. And there's some place I've seen this said, and I think it's true. It's you need confidence to wear this fragrance. It's really powerful. It really like attract attention. It really, and it's really like an 80s fragrance. It's different. So if you wear it, be aware that it's like powerhouse fragrance that scream to people to look at you and to smell you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If it's the case, well, like and share. If you've ever tried Bijan for Men or know anything about Bijan, just write it in the comment. I'll be really interested to hear it from you. So thanks for watching and see you soon.